I saw Laura Jacobs here in the Zoom, and this process has been an amazing one. So of just development as we've watched all these things come forward in the last little bit of what's making the magic right now, you know? So we had a launch guide, I don't know how many years ago, that served and was amazing, and times are changing. And so we're so grateful to have those same tried and true principles with what's working right now in our world. The scripting, the pieces that will help you in that process, because we have never found anything more fulfilling than sharing and empowering others to have these natural solutions in their home and in their lives. And we're so excited for you to have that opportunity as well, and have the very best training to launch and jump into that process.
So welcome. Get comfy and get yourself a tall glass of lemon water or a cup of tea, and
grab your oils.
Yep.
We're gonna go through a process today, but you're gonna leave today. It's our intention that you leave today empowered, knowing how to launch your business for the first time or to the next level, and how to train other people to do the same. So excited. We have 3 hours. We're going to pack it in. We're going to bring it in a powerful way so that you can take it in and it can just become a part of you. So starting out just with the big vision, right? We want you to be able to see where we're going overall and what you're headed to and for. And so, can I go start? Yep. Okay. So I love this opening spread of the launch guide because it really takes us to this big vision of what this process is all about. Do you see the people right here at the beginning? So the people in the world, that's where we're at. That's what makes a difference. That's where the magic is happening. And those people are who we are here. Those people are waiting for us, right? So we are going through this process for them, and we want to take them through a process so they can learn and become some of what we've learned and become in this process. So I love that this pipes image just gives you a visual of what's happening there and the magic that happens through that process. And again, it's literally pipes, and we're going to break that down.
It's like we don't have a cursor today.
So let's focus in on this top part right here. So your belief in the product is taking you to the action of sharing with 45 plus people, enrolling 15, and launching 1 to 3 builders. And the results you're getting from that is all of this, right? You're changing lives, you're growing yourself, you're reaching elite, and you're starting to build your residual income. So all of that is helping you get you to elite. That's step 1. Then you're launching 3 others to get to elite. And then you're helping those 3 launch their 3. And that takes you to platinum. So elite, silver, platinum is a really powerful just process that you're taking 1 step at a time to get there. That's great. So the first part of this pipes, again, prepare is all about you and the magic that happens with you. Inviting is about your prospects. See how we're moving over into about the prospects, and presenting is about the prospects. And then enrolling comes next, and supporting. And you'll notice in the launch guide, which I'm so excited for you to have this, that all of these line up with the 12 key actions to launch. Okay. So all of this first column right here, all of this first column is in, let us see if we can just get a cursor so we can highlight it for you.
So this is the only way to do that is if they see the thumbnails.
Great.
Okay.
So hopefully that you can still see that, but then we can highlight which part of the page we're talking through. So see, all of this right here is your prepare, right? This is preparing you. This is all about you. And can you see the first 3 steps? We invite you to do that in the first 72 hours of when you decide to launch. You know, these are things that maybe you could get through faster than that. Maybe it might take you a little bit more time than that, but that's your target right there. And that can happen quickly and you can knock that out. A lot of this work that you do with you is going to set you up for success in the rest of the month, right? So developing mindset is going to go throughout this whole launch process. And this is the part that never ends. Anybody notice that, right? That developing mindset, it never ends. It is happening there. And then we move right here. Step 5 and 6 is all about inviting. And ideally, this is happening pre-launch. So for example, right now, we're in June. We've got a couple weeks left in June. This would be a great time to pre-launch, right? You could get all of these first 3 steps in, you start developing your mindset, and you're working on 5 and 6 there with inviting, okay? So all of that is happening pre-launch, and then you're moving into this segment of presenting, right? So presenting to 30, and it's outlining just the key things right here. And I love that we can just dial in to these 12 steps, and it doesn't have to be complicated. But I want you to know that, you know, when we first brought this to a committee, a lot of people wanted this to be 4 pages, and we want to make sure that the Launch Guide has enough for you to get where you need to go. And so this is packed. It's a lot more than 4 pages now.
Yep, it's got the meat you need.
And it's going to give you scripting. It's going to give you all the pieces to really get where you need to go. So then 8, 9, and 10 are in enrolling, and then we're moving to supporting with numbers 11 and 12. And that's what you do to your team and community. And following that process, you're reaching elite. This is a surefire setup for success to reach elite, right? And remember, once you reach elite, then you get that process. It's so key to know that initial rank, right? Some of the top experts in network marketing say that's the one thing you need to know is how to create that initial rank. And really every rank in doTERRA is built off of elites. So if you can understand that, if you can live that, then you can transfer it to someone else, right? And that's what you do in helping 3 people go elite and you go silver, and then helping those people each help 3 people go elite and you go platinum. So I don't know how much I understood the power of this in the beginning, but I do understand the power of it now. And I think I'm so excited for you to model it so that you can experience that for yourself. So even if you've been in the business 6 years or and you can start out right here, relaunching your business, knowing this process so that you can train other people on this process. So I invite you each to relaunch, right? It's always time to relaunch.
Can I just share something?
Yeah, please.
So we coach with people at all different stages of the business, and we get to see, you know, where people want to be and where they have their goals set. What's interesting is, you know, there's a Zen saying that before enlightenment, chopping wood, carrying water. after enlightenment, chopping wood, carrying water.
Mm-hmm.
So I've translated that into doTERRA terms, and it's before rank advancement pipes, after rank advancement pipes. Like, it doesn't matter where you are in the journey. What we're going to be covering today is the nuts and bolts of your business regardless. And it's the building block of everything. This is how we connect with people, how we give them oil experiences, open their vision, and help them move forward and progress and create something, you know, whatever they want to create in doTERRA, whether it's product experience, business experience. It's all about the pipe. So you're in good hands. Buckle up, and we're ready to dive in.
I love it. And if you're looking for something sexier than pipes, just know that's the magic.
Yeah.
It's not about anything else, right? It
That's right.
always is that the simplicity, right? And doing that over and over again. Okay. So we are going to give you an experience today, a transformational experience. And so we're going to first make sure that you have a vision. Okay. Everything starts from vision. Without vision, the people perish, right? And your dreams are so key in your direction, in your success. So I want you to revisit this. This is one of the questions we ask in the build guide, is what would make the biggest impact in your life? So just look at these boxes that we have in the build guide here. And I want you to just take a little self-eval and post it in the chat. What would make the biggest impact in your life?
And when you make your comments, be sure to choose all panelists and attendees so that everybody can see your response.
Love it. Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that's different from Zoom webinars.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't default to everyone.
Awesome. I love this as you're reflecting. This is so good to do from time to time. This is not just a one-time thing, right? Our needs, our dreams, our why shifts. And I love seeing Danny and Keko say to free others financially, emotionally, spiritually, and physically to live their dream life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's amazing when we start seeing how that impacts our own life, right? Plugging from an academic schedule, doing what I love, travel and education. Wow. To give my husband job freedom. I remember that, Susan. That's
Such a
how we
gift.
first started.
That was your first big goal, and I'm so grateful that that you did it.
Some other great pieces, but dialing into that is so key, right? Your heart's going to guide you right, and if you are paying attention to what would make the biggest impact in your life and clear on that, you're going to get really grounded in that vision. So we're going to ask you a couple more questions, but Dee, like, I love how when we have a vision big enough, it can take us wherever we need to go, right?
Yep.
So first, here's a couple other questions I want you to drop into. Okay. So, what are you passionate about doing, creating, or achieving? And you can just, if you've got something amazing you want to share, great. If not, jot this down on a paper so you're getting clear on more of your vision, right? So we're going to play a little background music and just keep the questions up on the screen. So we're going to let you just self-direct through these, like there's about 6 questions, and just jot down what comes to you and develop this vision just a little bit more. We're going to take a few minutes. moving to the next questions. And friends, if resistance comes up and you start thinking, oh, I should pick up my phone or whatever, just, I want you to resist that. Put that phone away, dive deeper into your vision. This is going to pay off so well, but you've got to dive in. How you doing? Let's see some of, as you're seeing things come up for you, what are you noticing? And put anything you want to share in the chat. Feels good to do a dive.
If we could give you anything too, it would be the permission to dream. Try to go back to your childhood when people would ask you, you know, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you would say things like, I want to be an astronaut, or I want to be the president of the United States. Like, give yourself permission to dream again, and meet that dream with no judgment, no rules, no buts, just pure permission. Love how Julie's saying, for the first time, I see how some of my big goals to influence others in a positive way can be combined with my doTERRA goals.
Okay. Amy says, for the first time, I'm seeing that these goals for my financial freedom and family time are reachable. It was scary to dream before because what if I failed, right? For sure. And those of you that are asking about translation, we are hoping to get this to the people sooner than later and would love to partner with you no matter what timeline doTERRA's on. So let's get this out and working together. Oh, I love, it's already feeling so good. Can you feel the energy from you visioning? I love your invitation, Andy, to stay like a child in that dreaming big. And whatever you need to do on a regular basis to keep this up in your life and in your business, this is powerful. One of the things we love about a date together is we get out of the daily grind or whatever, happens from day to day, and we get up a little bit, get in the clouds, shoot for the stars, shoot for the moon. One of the things that I've learned in doTERRA is this kind of dreaming has helped take us where we wanted to be more than anything else.
Yep. I love the quote. I'm a realist. I expect miracles. So that's what we get to do when we play in our vision, is to start to visualize and call in miraculous level creation.
And when you have a clear vision, that fuels action, right? That takes you to action. So now with that vision in place, and if you need to set apart more time to do that, right? You do that. You go get in a peaceful place and dial into your vision more and more. Spend time, water your vision and your dreams.
Yeah.
I love what Tiffany Peterson says too about be true to your dreams and your dreams will be true to you. Yeah. So stick with those. That call that's in you is there for a reason. So as you have that vision in place, then you're in a place to set goals, right? But without that vision, the goals are it's easy for the goals to feel empty or just like this route thing that we are doing and going over. But it's powerful to set specific goals and know that your vision will naturally move you to action, and then you can achieve those goals. So connecting more with the vision and dreams is going to help you just execute and do the action to reach the goals. Again, Andy, it's chopping wood, carrying water. It's the pipes. And I love this, the way these options are set out so that you can really see, hey, I'm peaceful. I want to just pay for my product. That is my dream and vision. I want to supplement my income, and that's what my dream and vision entails. Or I want to replace and multiply my income. And it can be like what I love about goals is you can have this big, crazy dream, and you can have, hey, my first goal is to pay for my product and and then I'm going to move up from there. So goals are going to work for you as you write them down. You see them. That gives you a way to track and measure their progress. Andy, when we first started doing doTERRA, how do we feel about month end?
Well, it was not our favorite.
I didn't feel like that was working with me. I felt like it was working against me. Now I'm so grateful for month end, and I love months because they give this identifiable time frame for us to go for a goal. And I've seen a stretch. I've seen other people become so much more than they ever thought they could be because of that. So I want you to think right now about your goal to reach elite. So, and I want you to move into this. Okay, is it a 30-day goal? Is it a 60-day goal? Or is it a 90-day goal? And I believe that anyone can reach this goal in those time frames if you choose it. Okay. So first choose that and write it down. What is your goal to reach elite? I am elite on or before what, right? Is it going to be, this is really just choosing your pace right here. Okay, for elite. And you can see that this power of 3 goal is kind of happening at the same time. So this will naturally happen. Okay, you're going to start getting that power of 3 $50 bonus. And then I want you to think about that 90-day goal. Where do you want to be 3 months from now? So where do you want to be by August 31st, 2020? I love it. Jenna's elite on or before July 17th, right? Great language on the on or before.
It's powerful.
And once you're clear on your 90-day goal, some people it really helps, like when they don't know ranks or da-da-da, sometimes it's just easier to think about in 90 days, I want to be making $600 a month. I want to be making $800 a month. What is that goal for you? And then you can always refer back to the build guide to know where that is.
I love
rank wise.
And I love with those kind of goals to say I am elite or beyond, or I'm earning $600 or more, or this or better, on or before.
Feels like we always put a plus.
Yeah.
Right? Because, you know, we never want to limit ourselves in that dreaming. So love that process. Now go to your 1-year goal and set that. Go ahead. Useful to get clear on where you want to be. And then as you get closer, you can dial it in a little bit more. Okay. Oh, I love it. So by June next year, gold or beyond. 31st of December, I'm silver, right? So, you know, sometimes it like comes to you like, I know this time frame and this is my time frame. Trust that. I love it. Now, as soon as you're clear on those goals, I want you to go to these questions below. How committed are you to achieving these goals that you just laid out? And go down those questions right there and jot those down. Make sure you're writing these goals down. So powerful just to write it down, even if it's the first take, the first idea. I love what Denny and Ketko just said. I see myself dancing the carpet at convention next year with a massive team with me celebrating our Blue Diamond team.
can see it.
Gives me chills visualizing that. So go through these questions. Can you see that doing this on a regular basis could be so powerful for you? Start making this a habit to go to that big vision and then drop down into your goals. And doing it that direction, again, it's going to fuel your goals and your action. Love it. Can you see how powerful it is to even ask a question like, what will your life be like if you never reach your 1-year goal? So you can feel that pain and be aware of that. Like, I'm ready to shift. I'm ready to do whatever it takes to shift. Yeah, I love what Angela's saying. That question really hit her. To me, that's the wake-up call question. That's the, what more can I give? What more can I sacrifice? Love it. Thank you, all of you. And remember, if you click all panelists and attendees, then we can see all of that and people want to see it. Great, Courtney. Good to hear from you. So again, revisiting these goals. So you're writing them down. I love writing them down at the beginning of the month. If I'm clear about that month, then that creates so much clarity, and those miracles begin to flow because my intention is clear, right? So bring that clarity, and then with those goals in place, then we move to create a plan, okay? So that plan, I love each of these guides. They each have a planner to help you plan out each rank. And I was talking to a new builder and she's like, really? There's a plan? There's a way? And I thought, wow, this is so great that, you know, the last week of the month, you don't have to be like, I'm not there, right? Because you have taken the time to put that plan in place. And just this gets you clear on, you know, your date and your declaration, how it feels to be elite. You kind of heard from Danny, and I love how she was going into the feeling about it, right? So many times we feel, if we can express the emotion about how that's going to feel to accomplish that, then we're in this powerful place of emotion and connecting to that goal and dream. Then we've got a schedule, right? You've got scheduling your one-on-ones, and you know who those are going to be with, and you're dialing in those key classes. This is even helping you think about, okay, If I need a little action piece to help people enroll with a kit at that class, what's it going to be? Am I going to use the 200 PV doTERRA special that's happening this month? And that's going to be my enroll with a kit tonight incentive. Or do I give them a keychain if they book a class that night? This helps you get clear on some of those incentives to put into play. And I love this. This is a new ad. Is just beginning to see the power of 3 plan and having that be part of your plan, right? This is you. These are key people for you. Anyone on your front line can be part of that 600 team volume to get your 50. And then you're just helping your people think about creating that. So this is just that reminder and that visual. But I love that we have a plan. This is not haphazard. You do, again, you chop wood, you carry water, you do the pipes, and you get there. So after we've got a plan in place, then we're moving to this getting started checklist. And it really has some detailed pieces that are gonna just help you do these key things, right? These 4 things are gonna give you the basics, the logistics to take that dream and put it into action. I love this Tony Robbins quote: if you talk about it, it's a dream. If you envision it, it's possible. But if you schedule it, it's real. So we're going to just bring that about. So we schedule those dedicated weekly business hours right now. And I'm excited. Each of you, we want you to have this guide for yourself and be able to do this workbook. And it really is a self-guided training. This is, this is not something that your upline can give you or do for you. It's something that only you can do for yourself. But these have been key pieces, and these are just kind of like that checklist, right? Of just getting things lined up, making sure you have the samples that you need from doTERRA and a resource guide and that type of thing. And then what are your dedicated weekly business hours? Do you have time dedicated right now? If not, it's time to write it down. And it's time to get that time carved out. Time blocking, even if it's just a few hours a day, but you know that that's devoted to doTERRA, that's going to make a big difference to you. We have Roxanne Bybee on with us, and I'm so grateful. This lady was crazy enough to believe in the dream of doTERRA. And Roxanne, I would love to hear, we've been in all this preparation piece. What are things that are standing out to you from all this?
Wow. Well, first of all, I love it. It's been fun I knew that this was coming, and we had seen a little bit of the doc, but it's even more fleshed out than I had seen it before. And so for me, I just, Natalie and Andy have been telling you, right, this is a self-guided process. And of course, they took and put the stuff out that had been stripped and added even better. And so I'm kind of loving and obsessing over all the detail, because I'm kind of a detail person personally. So, so yeah, it's because, it's not something that it's not like you pick up that essential oil bottle, automatically how to use it. Mm-hmm. The same concept, right? You pick up a guide and you kind of need someone to open it for you and make it live. And so the details really do that. So I'm loving how, guiding people through the goals and stuff, really, and some of those questions like, hey, if you don't achieve this in a year, how's your life going to be? And kind of feeling that pain. And so going through that is so powerful, because it gives you a reason to do all the scheduling of all the different pieces that are going to give you your goal. I just have been reading a book called Willpower Doesn't Work, listening to it actually. And if any of you have experienced that book, one of the things he talks about is you set this goal and then you schedule your life backwards from it. So, and he gives some examples of this really incredible composer who does that. He literally says, sets the date of when he's going to have a new album. And he tells all of his fans, he announces it to all. So he gets super accountable, right? He says, this is my day. He literally calls and schedules the time for the recordings, which is like, you have to do that years in advance sometimes, because depending on the studio you're using, you have to get on the books. And so he pays for that. He gets it in the schedule and he announces it to all of his fans. And then he basically goes and backwards schedules his life. So just like the launch guide said, where we say, okay, this is my business hours, this is what I'm doing, right? If you really want to be successful and achieve what you want, you gotta like do it that way. You can't just go, I'm gonna accidentally fall in the hole of success, right? I mean, it's funny, we joke about that, right? But that's kind of what we think is gonna happen. Like, oh, I'm gonna enroll maybe 5 people and start the pipes process, and then somehow one of them or 2 of them or 3 of them is just gonna take off, and I'm gonna be able to crank and have this huge business. And the reality is, if we take it seriously, and we always teach people, right? Treat it like a business and it'll pay you like a business long term. Treat it like a hobby and it will pay you like a hobby. So important to follow all the steps they're showing. And I'm like I said, I'm a bit enjoying just experiencing what Natalie and Andy are teaching about it, because for me, seeing this today, even though I've seen launch guide before, they've tweaked it and added stuff, and so it's like a fresh peek. So I'm like really enjoying it myself. So
I love it.
And I had someone ask me what was the book that I mentioned, and it's called Willpower Doesn't Work, by Benjamin Hardy, I believe is the name of the author. Super impactful for me. So if that's helpful.
I love that example of renting the recording studio, and I think it's almost like like Danny and Keko were saying, like, okay, I'm gonna rent a space at doTERRA convention next year, and we're walking as Blue Diamond, and I can see it, right? And so create that in your life, and then schedule what level you need to be at to get there. Backwards schedule. Rox.
I know it's scary for anybody who's scared as they're writing this stuff out. Like, I honestly, it doesn't matter what level you reach in doTERRA, you'll still feel that sensation, right? Anytime you try to push yourself to something that's uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And it's so crazy how our human nature is, right? It wants us to be safe. So our brain says, no, pick something easier. No, right? And so if you feel yourself kind of like Natalie said, like, hey, if you feel some resistance showing up, right? It's like, whoa, this is scary. I feel like puking, or I don't want to tell people what my goal is, or whatever those things are. I even fight against it. We all do. So it's not you. Don't feel like you're unique in that case, right? Everybody's going to have their brain trying to check in and derail them in a sense from their achievements, right? So, but just kind of follow their plan, right? Follow the launch guide and just kind of let it hold your hand through. Because if you do those one-on-ones, and I love how it has like literally the little planner there, right? So that you're not missing those key pieces going, oh, how did the month end and I didn't hit my goal, right? So, if you have those scheduled, then it's going to be like, oh, well, and if you don't, then you can very clearly look back at the end of the month and say, I think I missed a few things. So next month, I'm going to actually get those scheduled, and I'm going to schedule them at the beginning of the month so that I have a week at the end to pick up any pieces that didn't, people that didn't enroll. They said, get back to me. I need to talk to my husband, whatever. Give yourself that extra time, and, try not to plan at the last minute, because when you do, but there's always, like they said, there's always next time, right? Mm-hmm. It's not like you fall flat on your face and you go, I'm never going to achieve. I'm never going to reach a lead, or I'm never going to reach this. I haven't reached it in the last 6 years. It's okay. It's okay. Just
I love that.
Start again, launch again.
Because I wanted to speak to that, because I think a lot of us, like you're saying, we start, I can't say it, or what if I'm reaching too high? Like, and I used to be so afraid of that. I remember just like, oh, I can't reach. I can't shoot for the stars, shoot for the moon. Because how could I ever get to the moon, right? But I've watched so many people shoot for the moon and reach the stars. And you reach the stars enough times in a row, and guess where you're at? You're at the moon. You're reaching your dreams. So I didn't realize that. And I kind of used to feel like, hey, anytime I don't hit this goal exactly right on, I'm a failure, or I could have been more, or I wasn't enough, And I had some of that crazy monkey mind noise going on. But the truth is that shooting for the stars, I would much rather shoot for the stars. I look back, shoot for the moon and reach the stars than shoot for a few feet in front of my own feet, right? And reach it. Like, what a tragedy to actually live underneath our potential and not reach the goals and dreams that we really have. So use your vision, your goals, and a plan to bring those pieces together. They work together in harmony, and they're working for you. Trust them. So we took quite a bit of time on this so that you could really get deep, but then everything else works out. Okay. So now we're going to get into a little bit more of the logistics of things. And just one of the first key things is that you're in this business for yourself, but you're not in this business by yourself. And one of my favorite things is doing this business with other people. And I've been annoyed by the other people that I do this business with at times, right? And it's not, it's perfect. Like, those have been the people that I needed to balance me out or teach me other things. So even if your mentor is not your best friend, I want you to partner with your mentor and choose to partner with your mentor, right? So just a few tips right here. This is going to help you be set up for success in partnering with your mentor. If you'll use a success check-in, it will give you some nice structure that keep things really clear and help you see where there's any breakdown. Set up a regular strategy session. You call your mentor at that time, and they're going to match your energy, right? And if your mentor is not matching your energy, keep going upline, because you're going to find somebody that will, that's vested in your success and that's going to be there to support you. So keep doing that. This is just showing you that getting started checklist that you've got there and helping you dial into it. And I love this. This is part of the plan page, and you'll see this all on the PDF, but you've really got all the math to support this, right? You're going to get about 15 enrollments with an average enrollment order of 200, and that takes you to that elite. Like, this is math. This works. As part of partnering with your mentor, I want to remind you to do this exercise. So this is kind of like an initial exercise. It's kind of like define the relationship moment with your mentor. If you'll take the time and invest in these questions, it'll be so powerful. So I challenge you on your to-do list, whatever you need to star there, go and do this with your mentor if you haven't done it already. Each of you fill this out. You get the best of me when. You get the worst of me when. And one thing I expect of you is. And then you can count on me too, right? And part of this is just discussing the difficulties are going to happen. They happen to everyone. There may come a time when you become discouraged. Your mentor will know this has happened if you stop calling, stop enrolling, or start making excuses. When this happens, because it's not if, it's when, how would you like them to respond? So get clear on that from the beginning, because this is a marathon. This is not a little sprint today and tomorrow. This is like, you really want to change your life, you're in the right place. You really want to change other people's lives, you're in the right place. And it's a process. So having these key pieces in place are going to really make a difference for you and your long-term success. So one of the key things to have in your mindset is just how you are a solutions provider, right? That means that you're a product of the product, right? How could we ever share a message that I don't live, right? How could I'm just not being true and authentic, and people feel it. And I share naturally, right? Could someone right now, I can only think of the word convict you as a sharer, right? Could they find in your purse or your bag or in your life the things to share and make a difference? And that's really going to be key for you. And then you're going to teach builders to do the same, right? To go on sharing. And I'm really excited about how this is laid out now, because this is going to just help you as you are more of the solutions provider for other people. And you dial into that, you're going to be able to serve these people better. So, and before we go here, I want to go to both sides of the bottle. Just remembering which part is yours and which part is doTERRA's. Any of you ever thought about this? Like, which part is mine? And you have hired the doTERRA opportunity to do some things for you. And understanding this partnership that you have with doTERRA, it's a two-way contract, is super key as you go into this process. So one side of the bottle is doTERRA's stewardship right here. And their mission is to put the right tools into your hands, right? And they do that by sourcing the purest essential oils, the research and development, co-impact sourcing, the green packaging, the order fulfillment, paying commissions, even the marketing that goes on, the specials that go on. Those are all doTERRA's part to help us have what we need in our hands so we can focus on the other side of the bottle and placing these amazing health tools into hands and homes and lives of those who we feel called to serve, right? So this is where we prepare, we invite, we present, we enroll, and we support. And I want you to remember your part and our part along the way, because that just will give you the clarity that you need. In order to do that part, you're going to need business builders, okay? So I want you to, if you haven't done this yet, I want you to take a minute right now and ask yourself, if you could work with anyone, who would it be? These potential business partners that you choose to partner with, just like you choose to partner with doTERRA, you need to be really selective in this process. This will determine a lot of your experience. So take a moment right now and think about that question. Write down whoever comes to your mind. Remember, this list of attributes, this has come from top leaders in doTERRA and the best partners that they have chosen and where they've found the most success. So just to guide you in that process of selecting business partners. You can always check it there. Yes, we will be posting this new version. Andy looks at me whenever I'm making a declaration like this. I think we can post a new version by tomorrow morning. And then we'll just keep updating it, right? This is an in-process piece. You're part of a process. But I believe after today, it's 90%. It's amazing.
So that'll be at sharesuccess.com/launch.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll add to that web page when the file got uploaded, so you don't have to download it and try to find the changes. You can
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so now as you've thought just a little bit about anyone, you know, who that person, who those partners you might want to be, we're going to also just, you know, brainstorm and we're going to explain this process and go through this process, but we're going to invite you to do this on your own time. This names list is where you're going to just download, right? This is your brainstorming. This is just free flowing, creating a list of 100 people. And basically, you're going to love this new list. Can you see right here how it says health need, money, time need, or purpose need? The first three columns are now to kind of identify their needs according to what you know, so that then you can tailor your approach based on their needs, right? And that's really helpful because it's also one of the key attributes of people that are successful in doTERRA is that they have these needs in place, right? And then you'll see the other attributes, right, following that. And you'll see how, wow, you're tallying up the check boxes and you can, you'll be able to identify some of your top builder prospects from these tally marks, okay? And then these columns are brilliant. So you might free form on another piece of paper. Then this kind of helps you start thinking in groups. Oh, these are all of the family. These are all of the friends. And some of this might be helpful in your placements. And not saying it will be like this exactly, but it might just help you group some people together that would grow best together, okay? So then of course you have a community and other workers. So once you've got that list, then you're gonna prioritize that, right? So we talked about taking those top prospects and you're gonna bring them over to the success tracker. And this success tracker, you're gonna write your top builder prospects in the shaded portion at the top, and then everyone else, your top prospects underneath that. And this is just your top 45, those 45 that you wanna share with and invite. But can you see how we're taking this process of refining your prospects? You've prepared those 100 names. Now you're going to share and invite with 45. And you're going to hear back from some of those and either do a one-on-one or a presentation to about 30 of those. This is just a general rule, but this will help you. Can you see how this funnel brings you to enroll 15 people? And then in that process, on average, you'll find and support 1 to 3 builders. Can you see how this kind of takes you through the pipes process and it's helping you get to where you need to be, right? So I love this, that you realize that your business is a numbers game. The more people you have in your pipeline, the greater your likelihood of success. And it's going to just come down just like you see it here. We've seen it happen over and over and over again, and that's the way that it plays out. So again, taking your names list over to the success tracker, and then this is not a one-time thing, right? This is something that you're going to continually add to. Andy, we keep adding to our names list. We keep it on a Google Doc or a Google Sheet now, but this helps us track, you know, who do I need to share with and what do I need to do? And there's some other helps. If you feel like you're at a standstill, there's a great handout in Empowered Success called Grow Your Prospects. And if you make it just a regular thing to just be adding names to that list, new people you meet, and you'll keep growing that list, and that will keep helping you grow your business. Okay. So this is your success tracker that helps you take that top 45 now, and you're seeing those top builder prospects. You're thinking about, oh, what's the best way to sample those people? And here, what's the best way to contact them? Being really intentional about that instead of just haphazard, hey, I've got my little list and da-da-da. And then this is taking you through all of the process of doing doTERRA. And this just helps you know what the next step is, which helps you know, okay, what can I do next, right? And this schedule your success. What I love, this next spread is going to help you bring it into your calendar and guide your everyday activities. Can you see how this success tracker was just helping you know, okay, what do I do next? What do I do next? What do I do next? And I love the schedule your success page because it's showing you the weekly schedule and how you might time block those in, and you just customize that to your world and how long to plan for on things. And then it's helping you focus in on a few key things too. Can you see right here how 80% of what you do right now should be IPing? It should be you sharing with people, inviting, presenting, and enrolling them, or you helping your builders share with people, present to them, or enroll them. This is where your focus needs to be right now, especially in this launch piece. Of course, you're preparing yourself and focusing in on that, but the majority of your time gets to be right here to grow your business and bring momentum and have that sharing happen. Whenever you have anything get in the way of sharing, whether it was COVID or da-da-da, like this is a time to reignite, and you can just start again in that sharing mode. I've seen people learn to start again. So I invite you to go back and bring your focus right here, because this is what will bring momentum and energy to your team. And the supporting is super fun, right? We want to be cheerleaders for each other, but you've got to make sure that that doesn't take more than, at this point, 20% or less of the time that you're investing in doTERRA. And if you keep this timing right, you're gonna, that momentum is gonna make such a difference. And then as your rank grows, you're gonna spend a little bit more on support and a little bit more on support, but you're still gonna keep the majority of what you do in your and your builder's IP, okay? Any questions there? Does that make sense? Hit me with any questions in the chat so we can make sure you've got it and you're seeing it. Can you see how these are the main things you're doing in your launch month? And this helps you know what to ask every day. Just, hey, what are my interactions right here, right? What do I need to do today? I need to ask myself and schedule, who needs a product experience? And this is what I do. Who needs an intro to the oils? This is what I do. Who do I need to follow up with? Who needs a wellness consult? Who needs an introduction to the business? Who would host a class? Who is ready to launch their business? All these questions are gonna help you help you know who to do that with. Wow. I love Danny and Keiko asking, we're still in 100% lockdown in Chile and we could continue to be there for months. How do you approach the sampling in this case? So, been such a fun time. Like, we've done some sampling drop-offs with our kids lately, 2 or 3 little samples in a baggie with a note, dropping it at doors. Again, the mail is still working in most places, and so we're sampling in that way. And we even created this On Guard hand sanitizer, just making it from our own On Guard, and a little recipe that was on a blog of like, hey, that's a sample that we're sharing right now that's really relevant for people. And so that's how you sample. And I love seeing how we can adjust, because people are awake right now to health and wholeness and those needs. We just need to pivot, right? And this is going to be a key part in your business, is meeting people where they're at. So right now in our world, they're at home a lot. So let's just be clear about that. So I am going to transition really quick to.
So somebody else said, for sampling, you can take a picture of the dropped off gift sample, then text it to the recipient to start the conversation. I love that idea. This whole new world we live in is such a bold invitation to think outside the box and just create truly from inspiration, and not relying on like, this is the way it's done because that's the way it's always been done. Like we truly get to be the limitless creators that we all are, but some of us have forgotten.
It is. And it requires some creativity sometime, right? We've got to get out of the box. We're going to shift over to this other, so I can show you a few things from the guide itself. So again, you're seeing this weekly schedule, right? But I wanted to point out this fast track for success. So one of the things I love, remember that first 4 classes that was on the planner? One of your options is to do something like that in a weekend. So can you do that now? Absolutely. You can do it on Zoom. You can have a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday class, each at different times of the day to tailor to different people. Maybe this just gives you multiple options to invite people to, right? And it allows you to build from one class to the next. Somebody is excited that comes to the first class, they can invite someone to come to the next class the very next day, right? And that's really powerful. And then it also helps you, like, you get lots more placement options because those people are enrolling at the same time, and you might have one that might be stronger as a sharer or a builder, and you can go from there. So I really love that concept, and I want you to think about that, if that might be a fit for you, right? Again, do it on Zoom. Do it, you know, some places that are easing up a little bit, they're doing park gatherings, you know, where you have 2 or 3 moms and it's outside and it's open air and it's working because there's not a lot of anything else going on. One of the key pieces right here is the preparing to share. Okay, so this just tells you some of the ways to prepare to share, and I love this. I feel like this is so complete now, that you prepare to share by preparing your story, by having oil experiences straight from your own bottles. You know, I carry this pouch around in my purse wherever I go, and I get oils on them or in them. And then of course you can give samples, whether it's doTERRA pre-made samples or you're sharing your own. And then also the online tools, make sure you're thinking about that. We use a lot of video sharing in our day and age, and it can be a really powerful tool to prepare people, or even like recorded pieces that are just useful with what people want to know. So these are just some great resources for there. Remember, when you're sharing on social media platforms, especially right now, you're going to say, hey, ready to build your immune, you know, and then share about what you're doing for that. You're not going to say, hey, let's address this or that major issue. Keep it in context and refer to body systems, not specific health issues or disease claims. Can you see this share your story doc? You guys, this keeps getting dialed in more and more. It's so good. In fact, I went through this process the other day and it was just like power. How quickly I could come up with a specific product story and get really clear on it, and a specific business story, and be clear on that. And so I invite you to do that. Take the time to do that. It's going to make a huge difference for you. The next piece is connect and share. And you're going to see, this is where it's getting so yummy, is like, it's so important in the beginning, before we can ever invite someone to act or anything like that. We've got to connect and we've got to give or share. And we've got a couple approaches laid out here, and you'll notice that all the scripts are in the light blue and the ital, and direction is in the black, okay? But you notice that there's not that many words. Like, we're trying to give you the direction and the scripting all combined, so it stays simple, so you can see the process. This is somebody that you don't know a little bit, and you need to earn the right a little bit more. This is someone that you have an established relationship with, and this might be how you connect, okay? And we're not going to go into all the detail right now, but I want you to know that we have dialed in these steps and this process, and, you know, and vetted it against, like, okay, this is what Back to Basics is saying is working, and these are these top enrollers, and this is what they're saying is working, and da-da-da, and just been making sure that we've totally dialed into this process, and you're going to get the best of the best right here. So learning about their priorities. So this is great scripting from all over the company. Thank you everyone that has contributed here, and you're going to find some really authentic scripting that that really serves. So again, right, see how they're referring you to back to share your story. You've done that work, so you can share there. So the next step after you've connected and you've discovered some of their health concerns is to create experiences. And you're going to do that by inviting them to try something natural. And then of course you can sample. I want to give a disclaimer here. There's a lot of teaching going on that says you have to sample and this is the only way. And especially right now in our world today, this is not the only way. You can send a video, you can teach a class. If they have a sample, can it sometimes be more powerful? Yes, but it's not required. And don't limit yourself by that sampling process, okay? If you choose to sample, give them how to use, follow this set expectations, and this last point is follow up, right? And then we're given really great direction, right? You followed up in a couple days because you told them that you could, and then you've got options. If they had a positive experience, great. If they had a less than awesome or no result, this is where you're going to go. And if they didn't try the sample, you're going to go here, right? And so I think it's great to kind of see, hey, this might be the share and invite timeline that you're under, just so you kind of have an overall vision. You get some oil on someone, you share an experience, you share your story. And then maybe 2 days later, you're following up and you're inviting them to learn more at a class, at a Zoom, watch this online recording, whatever it is. And then before that class or Zoom, you're giving them a call a couple days before, and then 2 to 4 hours before, a text reminder. This is what we found. This pattern is the best setup for success. It may seem a little bit over the top, or like you might be annoying people, but what we found is life happens and people forget. And without that kind of follow-up and reminding, sometimes we miss this key point of them learning more, right? And that's where the enrollment happens, where we set up the wellness consult. And it doesn't always happen right there at the class. Sometimes it happens in the first couple days of follow-up is the best time. But from this point to when they're getting onboarded as a customer is usually about 10 or 11 days. So this is just an ideal timeline. So you know that ideal timeline and can help someone through that process. If we just start extending that out, our likelihood of success starts going down, because it's just not a new thing, and it's not that bright, shiny object that they're giving attention to. So trust that process and that timeline. So this whole inviting to learn more is really powerful as well. Again, you're going to help people say yes. Here's some tips for that. If you're inviting to a class, here's your scripting for that. If you're inviting to a one-on-one, here's your scripting for that. If you're inviting to watch a video or webinar, there's your scripting to that. How about your scripting for reminding them? All right here too, right? And it's key to get that you've got permission to remind them, and you've got that noted there. These are things that I would love to give you a challenge on. We want to be able to cover everything in this launch guide, so we're not going to dial into all of this today. But can you see how, if you practice these scripts and you get comfortable with them, how powerful that could be for you? Can you imagine that? Can you see that? Because if you'll do the work and you'll practice this, it will become a part of you, so that it can just be natural, and your sharing will be natural. And I love that if you'll just do that work, then you'll become a pro, and you're naturally set up for success. Do you know how many times these things have been thought through?
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy, right? So a lot of thought, a lot of intention has gone into it, a lot of experience has gone into it. And if you'll trust that process, does that mean they need to turn into robots?
Scripts are a launching place. That's one of the reasons we call this the launch guide, because there's some basic concepts, there are some big picture ideas, but you have your own personality, you have your own strengths, you have your own relationship with these people. They have their unique needs and their way of seeing the world. So bring your brilliance to that, right? Like, come to where they are and meet them there. Yeah, the worst thing that could happen is we all walk around reading these scripts like zombies. So scripts, and that's what I love from leadership, when Eddie Villa really covered this idea that when we bring our unique Strengths Finder talent themes, as they're called, to the conversation of scripts, we just multiply the power exponentially. We create the ability to make them our own and make them so much more compelling. We're not speaking somebody else's strengths scripts, right? They become our own.
And the intention here is that you get the main meat right in there, and you you dial it in, you customize it, you bring your brilliance, like Andy's saying. And I love what Eddie says about no matter, like be yourself. That's one thing you can guarantee that you can be every time is be yourself, and you're going to be brilliant at bringing yourself. So don't hold back. Don't put on some straitjacket of the scripts.
Mm-hmm.
Let the scripts work for you. Let them be a guidepost for you. And it's kind of like the guides. Some people get caught up in, oh my gosh, you're trying to tell me it has to be just like this or just like that. No, there are guides for a reason. Guides are there to keep you safe and to help you be set up for success. And that's the whole intention of these. So I hope you can just like be able to leverage them and take full advantage of them. So once we've invited them to learn more, then we're moving into presentations, right? And I really think this part was not a part of the launch guide before, but it really has been key in what we do in this day and age. And it's really that we need to customize this. Like if you're working with an influencer, you may need to have a 3-way call where you have the credibility of your upline, and that's how they learn more, right? If this is someone that needs your love and your attention and you're dialing in, the best presentation might be a one-on-one. If you want to be a business partner with them, so many of the times it's a one-on-one. If they are going to feel more comfortable in a class setting, whether that's on Zoom or outside right now, that essential oil class is going to be the most powerful method. And virtual presentations, these we're having so much success with. So I want you to get comfortable online with these virtual presentations because people are loving them. People that never had the time to learn or were asleep to health needs or health needs or financial needs, or even just to be prepared for a rainy day or have some other streams of income, are now waking up to that. So there's all kinds of things that you can create virtually to address those needs. Guys, there's this thing called a class planner. If you're doing a class, that will help you do a ninja class that is just going to set you up for success with that. So that class planner is put in here right here. And it's going to help you just set things up for success in the class itself. It's going to help you know, hey, this is typically what the host does on the first class, what the presenter does on the first class, right? This is you, this is your upline. And then class 2 and how it shifts, and your upline and their part in class 3, right? And then you're just moving forward and you've seen it modeled and you know how to do it, but this gives you that whole overview so you know what it looks like. And just little basic things like, oh, you have your next class planned at the time of that class, so you can always invite people to classes. Those are little things that will make a big difference in your business and make it so that you don't have to, you can work smarter, not harder necessarily, right? So let's just get smarter about all of this. And this is helping you just be a better presenter overall. Do you need to be a ninja presenter from the beginning of your doTERRA experience? No way. You could read the handout and you would be great. You could use a PowerPoint and read off the PowerPoint on a Zoom call, right? By the way, there are PowerPoints in Empowered Success Library. There are PowerPoints on Share Success Library that you can use those things for Zoom, and they're really helpful. But pay attention to these key things so you can keep people engaged, right? These are just the top tips that we could ever give about presenting the message. And can you see some in there that you feel like could be really helpful? Right? We're so grateful. We've got some amazing of our Hungarian team with us today and translating, and just they're so grateful to have people from all over the world to take this in. Thank you, Katinka, for doing the translation, the simultaneous translation. So technology is amazing, and we can share the message in so many ways. So don't limit yourself for that, and be prepared in these ways. Can you guys see what are some of the things that's standing out right here to you on the product presentations that maybe you didn't know before? Key, get oils on people. Let the oils do their magic. Be concise. Keep your presentation to under an hour to hold interest. Be mindful of the energy you bring to a presentation. Positively assume the enrollment as the way to change each life. Avoid desperate, pushy, or salesy mindsets, right? This is about your mindset. Be professional in how you act and dress so that it can add to your credibility. I love what Lauren's saying on the Zoom calls, how important it is to involve the audience, because then the magic happens. What are you guys loving here on these? And that pick one thing that right now you could do better and do a little more of, and let's hear that in the chat. Body language, right? Even online, you can use body language, right? And so thankful, right? We get to take off crazy masks or whatever so you can see people for who they are, but use those things and use these resources. These are the best top tips right there. Do you see this bottom section right here on prepare for what ifs? This is such a gift to you. This is going to help you know what to do when, oh, somebody had a concern over internal use, or someone brings up buying on Amazon, or someone asks if this is an MLM. Like, it's going to give you key bullet points to respond with. And those are just great things for you to know so you can be prepared for those moments, right? So this is all about presenting the message, and it takes the Natural Solutions class and breaks it down by time. So you'll kind of see, like, in the first 5 minutes, you're going to state your intention. The next 10 minutes, you're going to go over why essential oils. And it's literally just pointing, here's what you're going to go over. Then you're going to go over into discover their health priorities, this top section, right? And then teaching about the medicine cabinet is going to come, or all of these options and the options that we've got to access there. And then one thing you'll notice in this layout is, look, we literally are kind of at the half hour, we're starting to talk about kits. So 3 ways to buy. And you're going to see the scripting for these pieces, but really helpful to see, wow, this much of the class we're teaching about solutions, and then we're explaining and helping them see their place in it. Isn't this powerful? And of course, getting clear on your purpose and keeping that purpose in mind as well. And so I love on this how, you know, if I can visualize it this way, it helps me stay on it in a class. And this was just a brilliant idea that Heidi Wayland brought to make it simple and easy. So now let's dive into it just a little bit more, okay? So this is just the overview, right? It's where you edify, share, and educate right here. And that's that first few minutes. And then see how you're getting the scripting right in here with the key points. Again, once you get to the middle, we've added a little section in here, but once you get to the 3 ways to buy, you've got this. It's amazing to hear about your experiences with the oils. Now let's talk about how to get them into your home. There are 3 ways to purchase doTERRA essential oils. And then you literally have the script. The first way is retail. Da-da-da. And this is super clear, and the exact scripting that they have just found and dialed in on that works. And those are all right there. And then we're going to go into the enrolling portion, right? Invite to enroll with a kit. And we've got the language for that, and the language in describing the kits, and the best language there. So you can see how much of this is scripting. We're not just talking about what to do. We're giving you the scripting of how to do it. And then inviting to change lives. And I love this scripting right here, where you go into, we found that there are 3 types of people that we serve. The first type of person is excited to live a natural lifestyle. When they learn about the power of essential oils, they can't wait to share the products with their family. doTERRA supports this type of person by providing free essential oil education and a generous, loyal customer reward program. So you've got the scripting all right here for the second type of person, right? And then we go into what a sharer looks like. And then the third type of person has been listening to me and thinking, that's what I want to do. I want to change people's lives by educating them about the power of essential oils. doTERRA rewards this type of person through an incredibly generous compensation plan. As these people educate others about the power of essential oils, they can earn enough to supplement or even replace their income and become financially free. If you are the second or the third type of person, come talk to me after the class and I can help you get started, right? So we're planting the seed about more than just the product and a wellness lifestyle. We're talking about sharing and building, and we're making an invitation for those people to come and find us. So these other pieces of this page are just here to help you, right? Hey, let's support their choice. These are the next steps, or this is what you might help them with, right? Each of these types of people. And this is the recommended enrollment, right? Maybe these customers, you're enrolling as a wholesale customer and they're choosing whatever kit serves them best. A sharer, you're going to enroll as a wellness advocate so they can enroll other people under them and that they share with. And here's a little bit of scripting language, and they might do, you know, this type of kit. A wellness builder, you're going to definitely enroll as a wellness advocate, and you'd recommend a natural solutions kit. I'm so glad this is answering so many questions you've had. But I love how just outlining these pieces, you know, they're really diving into, on the handout, this is going over, this is the page that says, whose lives do you want to change? And the people that choose to change them and their family, they're becoming a customer. If they want to share, they want to change them and their family's life, and maybe their friends and family, coworkers, extended family. And that's where they're going. And then the builders are changing all those lives, and then their community and beyond. They're going even beyond that. So I love how this is key, right? And just some key things here that it took us a little while to figure out, but really helpful for you is, you know, things like, oh, as a builder, I recommend investing in natural solutions kit, as others will naturally want to duplicate what you did. It's important to experience a number of the doTERRA products and understand the lifestyle, as well as have extra to sample others. You know, just basic things like that are going to make a big difference. So can you see we're still in the close and the enrollment? So there's key things that just happen in this process. And it really doesn't feel like a pitch, because it's helping people, you know, the whole last half of the class is just helping people dial in to what best serves them. So this book, Classes from Classes, I really love the scripting that this is dialed down into. and giving the keychain. That's one thing that we've duplicated on our teams, our new teams, and we are watching this work really well, right? So this is, you book a class tonight, you get a class on the calendar tonight, and you go home with this keychain. Then we can decide on a date that works for both of us. And then when we have your class, for every person you've invited that comes, I'll fill an oil vial with one of these basic oils in your keychain. So you have 4 people come, I'll fill 4 of those little vials in your keychain. If you have 8 people come, I'll fill the whole thing up, right? So you can see some of that language and how awesome it is. And then inviting them to enroll and share. And this is where we let them know about enrollment specials and how to fill out the enrollment form and move forward in that way. And I love this new layout of the class because we're not taking all this time in the middle of the class to go into everybody's individual health concerns and addressing that, but we're really letting that happen at the end of the class. So now that's moving to the end, but that's helping us dial into what kids they need and what'll work best for them. This gives you some follow-up pieces on this enrollment. You know, right now they can enroll online. You can send them the link, or they can send a picture. Some people are totally comfortable with that. Or you can gather their enrollment information over the phone. This is just key basic things. What if they have these objections? Could you address them in these ways? And here's some language to object to things like they don't know which kit to order, they have financial concerns or other concerns, and you've got those pieces there. So take a big deep breath. Just made it through the class, and that has been a journey to dial into and make it simple, but I really think it's in a powerful place for you to be able to move forward with. One of the things that you're going to want to know after presenting is enrolling, right? And enrolling these key business partners is going to be so key for you. And friends, we are doing incredible on time. So I think we're going to even
Finish early.
Yeah, finish early. So if you can stick with us for 15, 20 more minutes, I think we will be there. And then you can get your own download. I'm going to say tomorrow morning. I said tomorrow morning. I'm keeping my commitment of tomorrow morning. Okay. We've got several designers working on it now. Laura Jacobs is working on it now, and we will have that available for you so you can do the work, and you can take some of this time to actually do the work. But this whole business partner section, we've never really gone there here. It's been like, hey, we hope you find business partners. We hope it works out for you. But we really haven't guided very well on that. And this is giving you some really good language to find business partners. Some of that might even come through referrals, right? I had one new leader the other day. Right, this can sometimes be where we get tripped up in launching our business, right? We start sharing like crazy, but we haven't partnered with anyone else. And so does it feel like we're pulling an airplane? Yeah, because we haven't partnered with other people. And so it's so powerful to get this partnering happening, and it's so magical. So I had a friend, they were operating in another market. They hadn't found business partners in that market. They really knew they were supposed to build in that market. But we talked about this powerful concept of asking for business builder referrals. And what happened was after that day, she decided, okay, I'm just going to ask. And she said, you know, she went to other people that she knew in that area that maybe they were doing other things. They were in a completely different world. But she said, hey, I am here. I'm doing doTERRA. I so want to partner with other people that want to make a difference in this market, in this community, and help people with health and wellness. And I'm looking for real creators to partner with. Who do you know that might be one of those people? You know, and you've got several scripts here that will go any of those ways, but that it was that day or the next day that she was given a name that then she met with. They had some product experiences, they've had some opportunity experiences, and it didn't happen right away, but I just got a text the other day, and maybe it's been 4 months later. And these amazing, that's like her dream partner. And they totally chose in, and they are partnering with her, and it's such a great setup. And it was because she asked for referrals. So I hope you'll ask for it, right? In this world today, again, like we were saying earlier, a lot of people are awake. A lot of people don't, you know, they were home for a little bit. How many people want to get in the car on Monday morning and turn the ignition and drive to work? There's a lot of introverts that are so happy that we had COVID-19, and they think life should continue like that forever, right? I might be one of them. It's amazing. And so you can find those people that are seeking and searching for other answers. Look at these great questions. Are you open to new business and income opportunities? Are you open to learning how you could create an additional income stream with doTERRA? Power, right? There's also this 3-way scheduling script, which has a lot of goodness in it, and I love it. So I just got off the phone with Do you know who she is? She's an expert in, and you just give something that person is, you know, is an expert in. And she's also Presidential Diamond in doTERRA, or she's also a Silver in doTERRA. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be too crazy. It just has to be something. She is so incredible, and she is in demand. But she said she'd be willing to get on a call with you. I can be on it with the 3 of us. She can make that happen Tuesday at 4 or Wednesday at 3, which works best for you, right? So you're taking that script. This 3-way call is a really powerful way for you to find and engage business partners. We also included this whole part about talking to strangers, because some of the best business partners we've ever found were strangers as well. So talking about asking somebody what they do, and then they ask you what you do. And this can be a great way to do this. Maybe we have some of our business partners are out RVing right now because everything got canceled over the summer, and so they're RVing, and they're going to come into lots of opportunities to have these kind of conversations out in nature with other RVers. So now you've found those business partners. To enroll business partners, you're going to see this intro to build and how it's set up just like the other class, and you can see the timeline of it. Of course, you can do a shortened version, intro to build. So that could be, it could be 5 minutes, right? It could be this quick follow-up to a class, and we're giving a little direction on that right here. But it also could be, you can take it from 20 to 60. On the clock, we're showing 60 minutes and what that might look like. And I love how this is just helping you break down that class and take care of it and go into it bit by bit and outline that so you can engage business builders. So let's say you're doing a one-on-one with someone that you want to partner with. Could you just follow this? Absolutely. Just make sure you keep it high engagement. You're asking them lots of questions about their life, and then you're tailoring the message to that. Okay. And then of course, follow up is key.
Can I just speak to the high level?
Please.
As I think about the top leaders in all of doTERRA, they have mastered this conversation of attracting strong leaders and strong builders. And the closest thing that I can think of in outside of network marketing is kind of like a consultant who sells multi-million-dollar software, for example. So let's say I work for Oracle and I'm pitching this $20 million solution to a company. I'm not just gonna like go around knocking on doors and saying, hey, does anybody here want to buy a $20 million software package? That's not the way it goes down. It starts out with, first of all, identifying strategic partners, like who are the people who are in the market for this, right? Like, just like you talked about, right? That on the names list, who gets the most check marks. And then after you've identified those people, you take the time and you get to know them. And most of that conversation is them talking. Most of that is them explaining their needs and what their frustrations have been in the past and what their ideal solution looks like. So it's 10% talking, 90% listening. And then after some time, that's when you go for the big ask and say, do you want to partner? Change that.
Got it.
So I think we have, this is one of the reasons I'm most excited about the launch guide, is because we haven't addressed this one skill, which I believe is the number one skill of top leaders in doTERRA. They're excellent at spotting talent and influencing that talent to come in and partner with them in doTERRA. And we talk a lot about enrolling up. In other words, enrolling people who are better than you are, better builders, more influential, have more experience than you have, right? Instead of calling your Aunt Gertrude, who she'd probably buy anything that you asked her to buy, that's enrolling down. Enrolling up is going out and, really hitting that chicken list hard with highly influential people and highly motivated builders.
And what you mean by chicken list is those people that you're like, oh, could I really approach them?
Right.
Right? Somebody that you might feel afraid to invite.
Yep.
Wow. I love that you hit on enrolling up, because what happens when, like if I'm a 7 leader and I enroll my Aunt Gertrude and then she says she might want to share, and I start building with Aunt Gertrude, and then I enroll other, like that might be even like a 5 on a leadership scale. That starts duplicating those level, maybe they're a 5 on a leadership scale, then they enroll 3s, right? And leadership wise, we're not enrolling up, but if you'll model enrolling up, find people that are better than you. Don't be afraid of that. We enrolled people that were more amazing than we were in so many ways. And we had so much to learn, but we were willing to ask and willing to invite those people and willing to go out on a limb to do that. And that has been such a blessing to us, right? So that enrolling up can be a huge key.
Yep.
So any questions on enrolling business partners? Any questions that you have on that portion of enrolling business partners, or anything we've gone over there? I think what Andy hit on in the 10% talking, 90% listening. If you want to enroll an influencer, you've got to know what influences them, and you've got to listen to know that.
What's cool too is that the more you practice listening, the more you'll realize how much they're telling you what all their unmet needs are. So it's like they're giving you the key to unlock them and their potential. So it's mind-blowing to me how much we all broadcast that.
Love it. So now that we've enrolled, we're moving. Yeah, great.
So Danny and Kiko, where is the difference between partnering and giving them the space to do their business? For example, when you enroll a frontline leader and doing it for them, like helping them get there by placing too many people in an organization. Fantastic question. So as a general rule, Natalie and I have said we never invest more energy into someone's team than they do. So if you find yourself enrolling more people than they are onto their team, then you've gone too far. If you find yourself mentoring more on their team than they are, then you're going too far. Like we have to match the energy invested. Otherwise it goes pear-shaped really fast. Any other?
And, I was on a call yesterday with Susan and some other leaders, and we went over, some people there were talking about, hey, I have how did she say it? She said, I've overperformed, and in doing so, I've created these underperformers, right? Because when we overperform and we don't match their efforts, how much space do they have to perform? They have just a little bit of space to perform. And she just said, I didn't realize my actions were creating the underperforming. So if we'll just pay attention to that matching and match it, then we'll have healthy growth, right? If you have enroller on someone else, maybe you're thinking about them as another leader too, and you can match their efforts. But I also think pay attention to what you're doing, right? You pay attention to your language, pay attention to how you're showing up in their business, because it is their business. And if they don't take ownership and stewardship of their business, then, they will never be the leader, right? So you're inviting that. You're always saying, hey, what do you want to do in your business? And you're creating a space for that. Or how would you like to contribute, or and inviting them to lean in and go bigger. Wow, I like that.
So Lauren asks, can you find strong business partners or builders before they've sampled the products? Absolutely. We've found so many builders that way. And in fact, I took inventory of all of our qualifying leaders on our front line. And I think there's like 13 or so. And of all of those, 98% of them, we started the conversation talking about business. We didn't start with product. We didn't start with samples. We led out saying, we're doing this business. If we could do it with anyone, it'd be with you. Do you want to join us?
Did you guys hear that scripting? That's ninja. We're doing this. If we could do it with anyone, we would do it with you. do you want to join us? So power scripting, and make sure that gets added.
So sampling, I just worry that other leaders have overemphasized sampling as if like you literally can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
They can't come to a class, that you can't talk to them about building until it's not like sampling is this holy grail that holds the secrets to all the universe. It's obviously the builder needs to fall in love with the product at some point, or else it's not going to be authentic. But it doesn't have to be in that sequence, and it doesn't have to be through a sample. Like, it's more important that they have an oil experience than they have a sample. I've watched Natalie create that oil experience in person way more often than I've seen the experience happen just by leaving a sample. So I saw Andrea saying the majority of my enrollments were done without samples. Exactly. So the thing is, the people who have taught that sampling is the only way, they say that that's how every leader in doTERRA builds, and it's simply not true. So I would venture to say that half of the top leaders actively sample. So it's just not true. And Andrea says that she herself committed to build before. So yeah, you don't have to be so hardcore about sampling. It's not the pearly gates that you have to pass through to get anywhere. Alrighty. So any other thoughts on that topic before we move on?
Yep.
Okay. So the next section is on placements. And again, I just feel like the launch guide is getting so much meatier, like meaty, not like flying kind of meteor, about the detail, right, of how to place. We had some good stuff there before, but take a look at how the more we can tune in to their pathway, then the better we can place them for success, and it sets us up for success. So again, we can zone in on the type of builder they are, how committed they are, how capable they are, and all of that informs our placement strategy.
It's so great. And these are the words behind it on this side. So you can be like, oh yeah, this is what enroller is. This is what sponsor is. But use that 14-day window. And I love the images. I think the images teach you so much, right? So we're gonna, with these images, you literally are step one, choosing your business partners. If you've enrolled 40 customers before you've enrolled any business partners, I think that's amazing. You know, it's gonna be really frustrating to try and structure your business in a healthy way. I love, Danny and Keiko, I love what you're saying, that as diamonds, you literally sampled 50 times. I think there's a lot of people that have been that you truly are the sample, and how you represent the product and your energy overall and the vision you share. Beautiful, beautiful. So that's going to help you engage these business partners. If you don't know who those business partners are, maybe you have 2 business partners that you've enrolled, or you're in the process of enrolling, and you don't have a third, but you are enrolling customers that don't match with these 2 people, and that would grow best with someone else. Or maybe you have another vision here. It's okay to have a placeholder here. We had one of my sisters that her husband did not want to do the business. She didn't want to do the business. So she was a placeholder for us for a time until we found the right person to be in this spot as a real business partner, right? So then you're going to enroll and place each prospect where you think they will grow and be best supported. So for example, remember that that list that we had in the beginning, maybe you have one leg that this is your family leg, right? And, you know, you've got one side of the family there and they're together so they could work together, you know, and they're lined up there. Maybe you have one that is, hey, this is my church community and they all know each other and this is amazing. And then she's got all the other people that she's sharing with. So, you know, think about these key business partners. And again, don't overlook this. It's so powerful. Think, where are they going to grow best? Where are they going to be best supported? Choose long-term vision and success over short-term needs. If you will do that one thing, you will get to whatever rank you desire because you're taking good care of everything that comes your way. Okay? And then you have the option to move if needed within 14 days. So first, you're going to place them wherever you think they're going to grow best. Then you've got 14 days to make sure that that's a fit. If it's not a fit, you have that one move to have happen. And yes, there's other little exceptions. If they're a customer, you know, but that's all down here, and that's more detailed. Okay. We just want you getting the overall vision. Ideally, you're going to find these first 3 builders early in your launching process. But like I said, if you haven't found the right one, find someone that can be that placeholder for somebody else to swap in later. Can you see this ideal structure right here? This is you. These are your business partners right here. They know you're their business partner. They are committed and capable based on this definition. Committed meaning they follow and complete the steps in the launch guide, right? And capable, they enroll a builder on their own in their first 14 days of committing to build. So they're capable because they can influence people. They can move people to action.
One of the questions we had asked most often is, if you're placing customers down under builders and sharers, doesn't that mess up their structure? Because they want to have builders on their front line. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you addressed this. Obviously, you want to be having an active conversation with those people, mm-hmm. those builders, if you're placing people on their team, because you don't want to mess up their structure. So it sounds something like, hey, I'm thinking about placing this customer on your team. Where would make the most sense to you? Mm-hmm. And then have that conversation, because, yeah, obviously, you don't follow this diagram to the T. The idea is it's on their team, but you respect that they're trying to build a business too, and they don't want just a bunch of customers on their front line.
Ideally, you know, you've got business partners and builders as far down as possible. That is building a stronger organization, right? And customers oftentimes will convert, right? So you never know when that customer will convert. I love what you're saying, Andy, of like, this person is choosing their committed and capable business partners. And hopefully these are business partners, and hopefully this person has chosen their business partners. Mm-hmm. And then it duplicates down there, and then customers are just filling in to bring that amazing volume that they do.
But chances are good that everybody's got an Aunt Gertrude that it wouldn't hurt to put some customers under.
That's right.
So, we've got a question. Let's see. How do you effectively find business builders at the beginning where you haven't achieved any success yet? So in our case, one of the very, very first people that we talked to was Laura Jacobs. Mm-hmm. Now, she had, I think, 15 plus years of experience in network marketing. She owned a business. I mean, she was superior to us in every way, mm-hmm. in that sense. Like, we were nobodies in doTERRA, right? Like, we weren't even elite yet. And here we are asking this incredible influencer, hey, will you come be a builder under me? So how do you do it? You just make your list and you just go out and talk to people. Three-way calls can be a great way to get their attention. That's essentially what we did. we said, hey, we want you to meet the owners. And so that was our three-way. So we had them sit down, we had Laura Jacobs sit down with Dave Sterling, Dr. Hill, and it totally sealed the deal when she saw who the partners were at play. It wasn't just some crazy new thing that Andy and Natalie were up to.
Mm-hmm. So calling that credibility, like you're referring to, the three-way call is really key. I invite people to choose their top three people, and I'm happy to get on a three-way call with that person, right? And maybe you can't all get, take your people into corporate like we could back then, and like we did in that occasion. But nowadays, with the video collateral that we have, boy, you can give someone an experience, right? And you can set up those three-way calls with your upline or other credible things. You've got incredible, like for example, those experienced doTERRAs that we have up. Those are great segments to share with people that you want to partner with in the business. So those recordings are posted at sharesuccess.com /
Which ones?
/ experienced doTERRA, and there's also one
VIP,
at VIP.
ED3.
So we've done a few of those experienced doTERRA pieces. We'll put those addresses in the chat box so you can catch those. But there's even some of those chunked up videos that you could share one with someone that you want to partner with. So really powerful tools that we have in our day that, we didn't have back in the day.
We've got a great question on in the Q&A. So Nika says, someone told me yesterday not to focus on selling oils, but to focus on finding business partners, which confused me because I thought we were supposed to be selling the oils. So the answer to your question is yes and yes. We're selling both, right? We're selling the product and the opportunity. It's not an either or.
Mm-hmm.
If you're strategic and if you're looking forward at the compensation and you want to have success with the compensation plan, then you'll see that it's strategic to have business partners in place sooner rather than later. Even if it's just one partner that's in place, then your customers will be placed under builders instead of having a whole front line of customers. So absolutely, we're doing both, but this is why this is in the launch guide, because we want you to maximize the compensation plan. We want you to be wildly successful. So if you want to do that, get business partner, at least one, in place first before you enroll customers.
And it doesn't, how many of our people did we first go to about the oils and then we approach them about the business?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that you need to go out like selling the doTERRA opportunity all day, every day now, but choose that approach. Like even Laura Jacobs, what we got her attention with is that tea tree worked, and then she was interested in the opportunity because she knew how good the product worked, right? So Nika, we are really sharing and selling the oils, and because the oils are so powerful and the product's so powerful, we are selling an opportunity. And being intentional about the people you partner with will set you up so much more for success than hoping that some of those people that you sold oils to are going to convert. Be intentional. Ask the people that you want to partner with, even if they say no. Like Kelly Anderson, she said no to me for a year and a half. And I still knew I wanted to partner with her. So what did I do? I kept asking. And finally, I asked her the question, hey, it sounds like you have, I hear you talk about all these amazing dreams and what you want to create. What's your plan for financially supporting those dreams and living those dreams? What's your plan? And it stopped her dead in her tracks. And then we had a conversation about the doTERRA opportunity and how it could be that plan for her to accomplish her dreams. And so you have both things. Remember the power of both things that you have to share. It's don't discount the opportunity.
And then one last question, we got Daryl saying, is it okay to have 2 or 3 customers on your front line and builders front line, as long as you also have 3 or 4 builders on those lines? Absolutely. We all end up with imperfect structures, right? These are all best case scenarios. Even in this picture, you see that there's a couple of wholesale customers. It's fine.
And that might help you get your power of 3.
Yeah.
Let's say
Totally.
that these people are only at 100,
Yep.
right? So between the 4 of you, you're at 400. I would say most people are at least at 125 to get the product of the month, and that's really helpful for your power of 3. But if you've got a couple wholesale customers here, that's not a drawback. I would say whenever you can and when you're clear, like let's say this wholesale customer, they hit their 90-day mark and you could move them someplace else. If you can get them into your structure under someone that could better take care of them than you, and you're focusing a little bit more on working with those business builders, and then let's move them underneath to get that volume focus there. But there's no problem with those customers on your main line. Again, you're thinking about where will they grow best and where will they be best supported.
Great questions.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Okay, now that you're all placements ninjas, if you learn those key things, again, when I think about where will they grow and be best supported, I'm thinking about location and synergy. So maybe I've got all the people that are in Texas here because they can get together for a gathering, and or I've got this one yoga gal here, and so I just talked to this new yoga gal, and I think she would work so amazing, and they could really benefit each other, and that synergy, they would find that. So location and synergy is how we choose where people are going to grow best and be best supported. Now that you know all about placements, let's go to onboarding customers, because once they're in, here is the ideal timeline. And I love this, Andy Goddard. This is so amazing. And friends, you've got the little tips of what to do while they're waiting for their kit to arrive, and you're scripting there. You've got, hey, this is how you invite to the wellness consult. This is your text reminder for the wellness consult. Hey, here's the wellness consult. It's going to happen 3 to 10 days after their product has arrived. And these are some keys to remember. And here's the 3 key steps to making that all that it can be. If you have been struggling to get wellness consults happening, or, being able to fit that all in, consider holding group wellness consults. But don't underestimate, this is the key. This is the power to bringing customers in and helping them catch a vision for the lifestyle, is that wellness consult. People that do the wellness consult, their retention rates reflect it. Mm-hmm. And that means more lives changed more significantly, and it means greater income long-term for you and your people. So remember, the fortune is the follow-up. See how this is showing you, hey, your action every month. This might be what you do periodically, what you do. If somebody hasn't placed an order in 60 days or more, maybe you make customer support calls to give them a little bit more product education and help answer questions. I love this continuing ed, right? They're the best for this too. And that's what will take you to a healthy customer community. And so you've got some great tips here, and resolving concerns. Again, if oils aren't working like they want to, if they're not getting the results they desire, these are a few things to help you dial in and resolve those concerns. Don't you love this timeline? Isn't that so fun? So you can see onboarding customers is a real deal. It happens in everybody's business. We've just gotten really clear there. So you onboard customers, and then this is how you launch new builders, right? So you've just launched, and this is how you can launch others. And again, remember how we had the pre-launch part? This is showing you, this is the 6 weeks to elite. And these are the steps. They're committing, then they're preparing, you know, they're getting a handle on this, and inviting, presenting, and we're just going down this process. There you can see the whole timeline. And in launching new builders, again, like Danny and Keko were asking, this is key time for bringing in those three-way calls and making sure we're asking discovery questions, getting those needs down like Andy talked about, and determining their pain points and offering them solutions through doTERRA. So we help other people through this process. They achieve elite, and then we introduce the train guide, and that's really powerful, because then that helps them launch other people to elite. Can you see what we're doing, what we talked about in the beginning of just like, okay, we're going to launch you to elite, then we're going to help you launch 3 people to elite, and then you're going to help them launch their people. And that's how it happens. In that process, you're going to mentor people, right? And this is key in helping you start to mentor. Do you need to be perfect at it? No, but this is going to give you some guidelines to be great at it and to set you up for success in that process. And remember the success check-in that we talked about? This kind of breaks it down into, hey, this is step 1, to celebrate the successes and see where they need support. This is looking at their outcomes from the week before. This is looking at their structure and seeing where they're at volume-wise and what their rank and power of 3 goal is. So you can see all of that really quickly from this form. They have full awareness. You have full awareness. So many times they're just taking a picture of this, right? Weekly is how often we recommend connecting with your mentors. And then this is helping you see those key pipes activities and tracking it, right? We can't improve what we don't measure. And then getting clear on the 3 next steps. What are the 3 vital actions to do this week to get you where you want to be? I love that we're always hitting on why. Why do you want to even have weekly strategy sessions? You want to set up your builders for success. I have a lot of people, they do their mentoring on Mondays because they want to make sure their new builders and their builders overall are ready to go. They've got the direction they need and they're moving forward. But this will help you stay informed and update and just help them be set up for success. Here is that success check-in in live. Really, really fun. Again, focusing on the IPing to build your pipeline. Okay. There's a lot here, and if they'll use this as a measuring stick, it will help them be set up for success. So then the very end of this launch guide ends with developing mindset. Remember how in the beginning, this is all about you, and developing the mindset happens all the way throughout. This cannot be overlooked. This statement right here, this confidence statement, comes from Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and it's adapted to doTERRA just for you and I. And I love this because this repeated with emotion is going to bring so much clarity and so much certainty to you, and develop and strengthen that mindset so it can be the mindset you need to take you wherever you want to go. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve, Napoleon said. And boy, have we seen that?
Over and over.
Absolutely. So this is the way that the guide wraps, and then taking you to the next train guide. So,
Et voila.
voila. Wow. What a workout, right? So, that is the launch guide. And you are a part of an amazing process. You're in an amazing process. We're so excited for you. If I could start it all over again and just relaunch it, it is magical every time. So I hope you enjoy the season of doTERRA that you're in, and that whether you're launching or relaunching your business, that you can dial into this key initial rank so that you can duplicate that and help others to freedom in that process.
Thanks so much for joining us, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Stay tuned to sharesuccess.com/launch for the updated guide, and we'll send out an email to everyone who registered for this too.
So there's the link. We are so excited. We also, Andy, there's a cool podcast there. Tell them about it.
Yeah.
Show them the page.
I'll show it to you. So basically, doTERRA went to all the effort of making these incredible, oh, wrong one. Well, I think, is it still sharing?
Yep.
What's it sharing?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll try again. So doTERRA, they brought in the top leaders, and they had them record different sections for the launch process. And so we just took the audio from each of these videos and we made a podcast, and we put it on iTunes and Stitcher and Spotify. So whatever your favorite platform is, you can go and you can just subscribe your device and get access to all of these 28 episodes. And it follows the launch guide perfectly. Mm-hmm. So everything that's in the launch guide is here. So now you can take the training on the go with you, listen to it. These are super short, right? Like 1 minute, 2 minutes, 4 minutes. Like the longest one I think is 5 minutes right there. So short and sweet. You get to hear from top leaders in the company. And so you get to hear lots of different voices. Mm-hmm. And they're all gurus. Mm-hmm. They're all experts. Mm-hmm. So that's.
And this is where you'll be able to download the new launch guide right here. Same link.
That's your launch button.
That is. Love you. So grateful for you. Take this message out, take what you've been given and share it with the world. And I'm so excited for the freedom, for the meaning that's going to flow back to you. Lots and lots of love.